Hello everyone, Board Game Lawyer here, and today I'm going to play some Marvel Champions from Fantasy Flight Games. And if you've been keeping track of my channel this week, you'll notice that I've called this a special occasion. We call it Venom Week. And the reason why we did that is because this week, whenever I've recorded, all I've ever done was record against villain Venom. So this will be in my final installment for the week. And I can think of no one better to pit up against Venom than Venom himself. So we're going to use the Venom hero today to take on the villain Venom. So let's take a look at this hero Venom here. He has one threat. He has two attack. He has two defense. He's a guardian who is also a space knight. And he says you can control one additional upgrade that has the restricted keyword. So normally we can have two cards that have the restricted keyword. With Venom, we can have three. And so we have Flash Thompson, who has that same ability on the other side. So we can have three restricted keyword cards on Venom. He has a symbiotic bond, which is a resource. Take one damage, generate a wild resource, and you can do this a limit of once per phase. And he begins on his hero form. So Flash Thompson says that he's armed and ready. During setup, we discard cards from the top of our deck until we discard a weapon upgrade, and we add that weapon upgrade to our hand. Flash Thompson begins the game with 12 hit points on him. So we're just using standard Venom today. Didn't want to get too crazy and go with expert. It's been a long week, and we're just going to try to take it easy and have some fun. So standard Venom comes into play with a toughness card on him. He has that forced response, and after we attack and damage Venom with a card that we control, we place a face down boost card on our identity. So Venom comes into play with 17 hit points on him. His main scheme reads that we're going to put one modular encounter set in our deck, Down to Earth, in addition to Symbiotic Bond. But we did not put Down to Earth in our deck today. Instead, we put in Streets of Mayhem. So we have some environment cards that we have included in the encounter deck today. And setup says to put the bell tower environment into play quiet side face up. And we want that quiet side to remain face up. Now, why is that the case? Well, let's take a look at the ringing side. It says increase all damage Venom takes by 1. And it doesn't differentiate on this card whether it's villain Venom or whether it's Flash Thompson's Venom. It just says Venom. So I'm going to treat this as if it would do an additional damage each time I take damage. So let's try to keep that things a little bit quieter today. In my past games, I was happy to use the bell tower. And this one, not so much. So leave us alone. That main scheme says that it has a force interrupt when Venom activates against you. Move each face down boost card from your identity to Venom. It begins with 2 threat, and it threats out at 10. All right, so leave us alone is out. Everything is set up, other than I have to draw up my hand size of 6. So we're going to draw Clobber. We're also going to draw Run and Gun. We draw Grasping Tendrils. So far, all events. Here's our multi-gun. We have Rocket Raccoon, and we draw the Genius card. So I think I will hang on to the multi-gun for sure, and Rocket Raccoon. Now let's discard Rocket Raccoon as well. Could be a bad idea, not sure. But we'll discard these 4 cards. And we'll draw 4 more as part of our mulligan. So we also draw another Clobber card. We draw Behind Enemy Lines, which is an event. Another event, Savage Attack. And a weapon upgrade, Yarnborn. Okay. So we've got our 6 cards here. Now, as part of our setup, we have to also discard cards from the top of our deck until we discard a weapon and add that card to our hand. So we're going to discard 1 card. Not it. This one is also not a weapon. Throg is not a weapon. I guess you could use them as one. Fusillade. Behind Enemy Lines. Oh, we're going to deck ourselves. Nope, Venom's Pistol. Restricted. Max 2 restricted cards per player. When you would use one of Venom's basic powers, exhaust Venom's Pistol. This is a hero interrupt. Venom gets +1 to that power for its use. So we've got that multi-gun, which I think we need to put out. It's going to cost us 3 resources, so we have a Genius card as well as a Behind Enemy Lines. Yeah, we'll use Behind Enemy Lines. That'll put our multi-gun out. We'll also spend Savage Attack to put out Yarnborn. And we'll spend the Clobber card to put out Venom's Pistol. So Yarnborn, it says after your hero attacks an enemy, spend a fist resource, deal 2 damage to an enemy. And Venom's Pistol reads, when you would use one of Venom's basic powers, exhaust Venom's Pistol, Venom gets +1 to that power for this use. And then we have our multi-gun, which it has a few different actions on it. We can either deal 2 damage to an enemy, choose a player, deal 1 damage to each minion engaged with that player, or we can remove 2 threat from a scheme. Now this is a hero action. It's not an attack. So Venom's ability says after you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face down boost card on your identity. So let's do this. Let's flip over to our Venom side. And Venom is going to attack Venom. When you use one of Venom's basic powers, exhaust Venom's Pistol, Venom gains +1 to the power for this use. It's not really going to matter because we're just knocking that tough card off with that attack. But we did attack, and he has an ability here. It says, Symbiotic Bond resource, take 1 damage, generate a wild resource. So since we attacked Venom, we're going to take 1 damage, knocks us down to 11, and then we're going to use that as a wild resource to trigger Yarnborn. After your hero attacks an enemy, spend a fist resource, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So we're going to do 2 damage to Venom, knocks him down to 15. And then we're going to use our multi-gun to deal 2 damage to an enemy. Again, it's not an attack. Let's see, after, let me just make sure of this before I move on. Force response, after you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face down boost card on your identity. So this takes place after your hero attacks an enemy, spend a resource, deal 2 damage to an enemy. So both of these responses, this forced response would go first, didn't do any damage, and then this response I could do. So yeah, so we're gonna do, so we start at 17, we did 2 damage with Yarnborn, 2 damage with the multi-gun, and that'll take him down to 13. No additional boost cards dealt to Venom for that. So we'll ready him, ready his multi-gun. We don't even have to exhaust Yarnborn. After your hero attacks an enemy, spend that to deal 2 damage to an enemy. Okay. After your hero attacks. Okay, good. So now we drop our hand size of 5. So we have Spider Sense, good card. Locked and Loaded. Search your deck for a weapon upgrade. Add it to your hand. Shuffle your deck. We have Project Rebirth. Exhaust Project Rebirth 2.0. Choose to either draw 1 card or heal 3 damage from Flash Thompson. Nice. We have Drax, and 1 more card is the Energy Spear. All right, so Venom is going to place 1 threat onto Leave Us Alone. He's going to attack Venom. Are we going to try to block any damage? Probably wouldn't be a bad idea to block some damage. Let's do that. Let's do a defense, and then we can use our Venom's Pistol. When you use one of Venom's basic powers, exhaust Venom's Pistol. Venom gets +1 to that power for this use. So yeah, we'll exhaust that to give us 3 defense. Venom draws a card for his boost. And it says, for whom the bell tolls. So he's going to attack me for 2 plus a star. It says, resolve this card's when revealed ability. It says, when revealed, remove 2 chime counters from the bell tower, none on it. If the bell tower is on its quiet side, take 1 damage. If it's on its ringing side, remove 1 threat from the main scheme. Well, it's on its quiet side, so we're going to take 1 damage from that and 2 damage from Venom. No, let's see. We won't take any damage from Venom's attack because we blocked it, but this one here, I think we take the damage from this because it's not part of his attack. It's a separate when revealed ability. So we will take 1 damage onto Venom because of that. Okay, but we block the rest, and then we draw our encounter card, which is an assault. When revealed, hero, the villain, attacks you. Of course, he's going to attack me. And I'm already... Let's see, I have anything to block that with? No. Don't have anything to block that with, so he's going to attack me for 2 plus 2, and it says boost. If this activation is attack, it gains piercing. So 2 plus 2 is 4 damage onto Venom. And quickly, just like that, we're knocked all the way down to 6. Okay. So then, I think we do want to put Spider Sense on the table. That makes complete sense. When the villain initiates an attack against you, draw a card. I also like Project Rebirth. Exhaust Project Rebirth. Choose to either draw a card or heal 3 damage from Flash Thompson. Sounds like a great idea. We've got Energy Spear and Drax. So let's put that Project Rebirth on the table. We'll use Locked and Loaded to do so. Also put Spider Sense on the table. We'll use Drax and the Energy Spear to do that. With our multi-gun, we'll exhaust that to remove 2 threat, shoot 2 threat off of the main scheme. Yep, we'll do that. Pop that threat. Then we'll flip over to our Flash Thompson side. We'll exhaust Project Rebirth to either draw a card or heal 3 damage from Flash Thompson. Well, we're going to heal, and that'll put him back up to 9. So we'll ready Project Rebirth. We have our upgrades here. Yarnborn, multi-gun, Venom's pistol, and Flash Thompson. Now we get a hand size of 6. So we draw the Power of Aggression. We have Bug. We draw Grasping Tendrils, as well as Nowhere, Savage Attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is Angela. All right. Venom begins his turn. So 1 threat on the main scheme. Venom is going to scheme, and he's going to draw a 2. So we add 3 more threat to the main scheme. So now it's up to 5. We draw our encounter card, which is Biting Retort. Venom activates against you. Each boost card turned up face up during this activation gets +1 icon. So we're sitting at 1. We draw a... If this activation is attack, take 2 damage. That's the special. So this will actually have +1 added to it. So we add 3 more threat to leave us alone because of Biting Retort. And we're quickly up to 8. Let's remove 3, 1, and 1 to put a 5 out. And it's Flash Thompson's turn. So we've got Bug, Grasping Tendrils, Nowhere, Savage Attack, Angela. We do have this Project Rebirth. I could exhaust it to draw a card, which I think I will. Project Rebirth to draw a card, and we draw Clobber. Deal 3 damage to an enemy. If this is the first card you've played this round, return this card to your hand. Okay. And we have some things that we can do with it. Power of Aggression. That'll allow us to play that Clobber card. We got Grasping Tendrils. When the villain initiates attack against you, cancel that attack if you paid for this card using only Fist Resources. Stun the villain. Nowhere and Angela. Savage Attack. Overkill. Okay, so I think we will use Angela After Angela enters play under your control, search the top 10 cards of your encounter deck for a minion. Put into play against you. Shuffle the encounter deck. All right, so we're going to put Angela out. We'll look at the top 10 cards. We have Biting Retort, Back Alley Enclave, Advance, Struggle for Control, Now We're Angry, Shadow of the Past, Swinging Assault. There's an Enraged Symbiote. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2 more. Assault. And so that Enraged Symbiote comes into play. He has Guard and Patrol. The rest of these cards will get shuffled back into my encounter deck here. I'll pull those off to the side here and shuffle everything up. Enraged Symbiote comes out into play. He has Guard and Patrol. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot thwart the main scheme. And that's just fine because Angela is going to dispense of the Enraged Symbiote. Yes, I believe so. Maybe. Maybe I want to attack him with Flash Thompson. Let's see. Let's flip to our Flash Thompson side. And if I do the damage to the Enraged Symbiote with Venom, okay. Do I have a... Yeah, I do. I've got a couple different options here. So yeah, we'll attack the Enraged Symbiote with Venom. So we'll knock him out for that 2. And then since we did an attacked an enemy, I could spend a 5th resource to deal 2 damage to an enemy. So we'll spend that Grasping Tendrils to do the Yarnborn to do 2 damage to Venom. That Yarnborn is not an attack, so it goes down to 11. We'll exhaust the multi-gun to deal 2 damage to an enemy or remove 2 threat. Good question. Let's see what we got in our hand. We got Bug, Power of Aggression, Nowhere, and Savage Attack. Sure. I think we're going to have to remove some threat. So we'll remove 2 threat with using the multi-gun from Leave Us Alone. Brings it back down to 6. And Nowhere. If I spend the Savage Attack and Clobber, I can put out Nowhere. That allows us to have an additional... it says play only if your identity has the Guardian trait, which we've got. Increase your ally limit by 1. After a player plays a Guardian ally, exhaust Nowhere. That player draws 1 card. So yeah, we'll put Nowhere on the table. We'll spend Savage Attack and Clobber to put it out. After a player plays a Guardian ally, exhaust Nowhere. That player draws 1 card. Okay, so we'll go ahead and put a Guardian ally on the table using the Power of Aggression. So we've got Bug out there now. We'll exhaust Nowhere to draw a card. And we draw the Strength card, which is a good card to hang on to. I don't think I have anything else I can do this turn. I've got Angela and Bug. But if I attack with either one of them, downside will be that I have to deal myself an encounter card. Not an encounter card, an additional boost card for Venom. And I think for now, we'll just remain in our... We'll just leave everybody intact for now. We'll drop our hand size of 5. So we have Strength and an Energy Spear, Hone Technique, Fusillade, which is an attack. And we have Groot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cards. So we place that 1 threat on Leave Us Alone. Venom is going to attack Venom. We've got Spider Sense, so when the villain initiates attack against you, I can draw a card. So we got Run and Gun, which is a hero action. Do I have any defense cards in my hand? I don't. So Venom is going to draw a card for his boost to do damage to Venom to the tune of the star. This activation is an attack. It gets +2 boost icons for this attack, and it gains overkill. So 2 plus 2 is 4. We'll knock Venom down to, let's see, we were at 9. He comes down to 5, and then we draw our encounter card, which is an Enraged Symbiote. You know, earlier when I attacked that Enraged Symbiote, I did it with Venom, so that's fine. Enraged Symbiote, guard, patrol. While this minion is engaged with you, you cannot thwart the main scheme. We also can't attack Venom while that Enraged Symbiote is in play. So that will end Venom's turn. Run and gun, ready Venom, and each weapon upgrade you control. Okay, not bad. We might use that. We could also put Hone Technique on the table. That wouldn't be such a terrible thing, I don't think. Get that Hone Technique on the table. That'll allow us to do a little extra damage to Venom. Nowhere. After you play a Guardian ally, exhaust Nowhere, that player draws a card. Let's use the multi-gun first to knock some threat off of Leave Us Alone. 2 threat comes off of there. Nope, can't do that yet. Oh, yeah, we can because it's not an attack. He's a guard and a patrol. While this minion is engaged with you, cannot thwart the main scheme. That is not a thwart. That is just simply remove 2 threat from a scheme. It's not a thwart, so I could take 2 off of there. Venom is going to attack the Enraged Symbiote. Yeah, that's what we're going to do. Venom's going to attack the Enraged Symbiote for 2 damage. So that will knock him out. We'll spend that Fist resource. And that Fist resource will be 1 damage on Venom. Or do we throw off Groot? It's a lot of defense from Groot. Well, let's do it. Let's do 2 damage. We're going to toss Groot. Deal 2 damage to Venom. Takes him down to 9. Run and gun. How about it? Ready Venom, and each weapon upgrade you control. So if we used Hone Technique and Strength, we'll put that Energy Spear on Bug. So we'll put the Energy Spear on Bug using Fusillade. Let's spend 3 to ready Venom and each weapon upgrade I control. So Venom is readied. I didn't have to exhaust Yarnborn. It stays upright. Now with Venom, we will remove 2 threat using Venom's pistol. Takes us down to 3. And then we'll use the multi-gun to take our threat down to 1. Okay. And then we will flip over to our Flash Thompson side. Exhaust Project Rebirth to heal 3 damage. It's Flash Thompson. And now we got a hand size of 6. Just kind of needling away at Venom here. So So we draw the power of aggression, and we have Martinex, energy, hone technique, Venom's pistol, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and one more, energy spear, and that decks us. Shuffling my player deck, dealing myself one encounter card. Here's my encounter card. I'll just put it there on the bell tower. And here's my hand for the next turn. Hone technique, energy spear, Venom's pistol. Yep, and all that. So we place one threat on the main scheme. Venom's going to scheme for 1 plus 2 is 3. Now we're up to 5. Deal ourselves an encounter card. Here's one card, and it is the Back Alley Enclave Surge. When revealed, discard each other setting, environment, and play. Each character in play gets +1 attack. Each character in play gets +1 attack. So we'll put this over here on the bell tower to remind us that we have this environment into play. And it has a surge card, so we surge. Then we draw the advance card. When revealed, the villain scheme. So he's got a scheme of 1. +1 is 2 more threat on our main scheme. And then our final card, another advance. Not good. We draw assault, so 1 more threat gets placed on the main scheme. Now it's back up to 8. So now we have the Back Alley Enclave on the table. We'll have to remember how that works. Each character in play gets +1 attack. All right. So we've got Venom's pistol, honed technique, energy, Martinex, and the power of aggression. That power of aggression we could use to put out hone technique. Before we do any of that, though, let's heal 3 damage from Flash Thompson. That'll put him back up to 11. If we spend 2 resources to put Martinex on the table, reduce your cost to play Martinex by 1 if your identity has the Guardian trait. Well, right now we're just a soldier. So we'll flip over to our hero side. And now we have the Guardian trait. So we can spend 2 resources to put Martinex on the table. And Nowhere allows us to, after we play a Guardian ally, exhaust Nowhere to draw a card. And we draw Fusillade. All right, so we put hone technique on the table. Probably not a bad idea. Yep, let's do that. We'll use the power of aggression and Venom's pistol to put out that hone technique. And that hone technique says that whenever you play an aggression attack, if you paid for that using a mental resource, increase the amount of damage that event deals by its printed cost. So I don't have enough to play Fusillade, but I think we will attack with Venom. So Venom will have +1 attack. So that puts him up to 3. And if I use Venom's pistol, I can put him up to 4. So that's exactly what we'll do. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage to Venom. We're going to deal ourselves an encounter card or a face down boost card because we did that. And then after the attack happens, we're going to deal ourselves 1 damage, drop down to 10 to do 2 more damage to Venom. So that'll put him down to 3. Okay. Do we attack with Bug? So we just attacked with Venom. He attacked Do we attack with Bug? If we do attack with Bug, that will cause Venom to be defeated, and we'll deal ourselves an additional Vengeance card. So I think I want to hold for now. I don't necessarily want to attack with Bug right now. So to end my turn, we'll ready all my cards here. Ready everything. Oh, and I'll remove with that multi-gun. I'll remove 2 threat from Leave Us Alone. Yep. That's what we want to do. Take 2 threat off of there. We'll hang on to Fusillade. We'll get a clobber card. Throg. Grasping Tendrils. And Run and Gun. Leave Us Alone gets a threat. Venom is going to attack Venom. I've got that Spider Sense, so I can draw a card. So we got another Clobber card. We've got Grasping Tendrils. Defense. When the villain initiates attack against you, cancel that attack. If you paid for this card using Fist resources, stun the villain. So I do have 2 Fist resources. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and play that Hero Interrupt. Spending these 2 resources here to cancel that attack. And we're going to stun Venom. He is now stunned. Run and Gun, Ready Venom, and each weapon upgrade you control. All right. So there is that attack. Now comes our encounter card, and it is a Swinging Assault. When revealed, the villain attacks you. Give the villain 1 additional boost card for that activation. Well, he's stunned, so that's going to knock his stunned card off. So he's no longer stunned. All right. And so for my turn, I could play Fusillade. I'll have to use Venom to generate a energy resource if I wanted to do that. Yeah. Let's do this. Angela. So it says all characters in play get +1 attack. So Angela attacks Venom for 3. Boom. For 3. That will knock Venom to his side 2. Has a force response. After you attack and damage Venom with a card you control, place 1 face-down boost card on your identity. That's exactly what we're going to do. And our new Venom comes into play with 18 hit points on him. There he is. So then we will run and gun. Two, 4. Fusillade, run and gun. Let's see. Bug attacks. So he comes into play with toughness, and he has a steady card on him. It says, when revealed, search the encounter deck and discard pile for Tooth and Nail side scheme. Put it into play. Vengeance, force response after you attack damage. So I need to go find that Tooth and Nail side scheme, and we also keep in mind he's tough and he has steady now. See if I can find that Tooth and Nail side scheme. Not my encounter deck. It must be in my discard pile. There's Tooth and Nail. It says response after Venom takes any amount of damage from an attack, remove an equal amount of threat from here. Okay. So Tooth and Nail comes into play. comes out with a lot of threat on it, 8 threat. And it comes into play with a hazard icon on it. Tough card on Venom. 1 damage onto Angela. So Martinix is going to attack Venom for 1+1 to knock off the tough card. And then Bug is going to attack Venom. And he's going to do damage. So he, oh, you know what? Let's do Bug before we do Martinix. Let's put him back up. Put that tough card on there, because the nice thing about Bug is he has that after it has attached to the Guardian ally. Attached ally gets +2 attack, and its attack gains piercing. So we can knock that tough card off with the energy spear. So we'll do that instead of doing the damage with Martinix. So then Bug will attack Venom for 2, 3, +1 for the back alley enclave. So yeah, Bug is going to attack for 4. So the tough card comes off, and he goes down to 14. I like that better. Then Martin, and that'll deal us another face down boost card. Now Martinix will attack for 2. 1, 2. That takes him down to 12. So we went from 18 down to 12. We've got Fusillade, exhaust a weapon upgrade you control, deal 5 damage to an enemy. Let's see how much that is. So we've got, and then this says it's only to the attack. So as it stands right now, I've got 2 damage that I can do with Venom. So it'll be 2, 3, 4, 2, 3, 4 damage with Venom, 5, 6 with the multi-gun, and then we can do all this damage with Fusillade. Yeah, so let's do that. Yep, we're going to do that. So Venom. So we did attack with Martinix. We attacked with Bug. We'll spend these 2 resources here to play Fusillade. Exhaust a weapon upgrade you control, deal 5 damage to an enemy. So we'll use Throg and Run and Gun for that. So we're going to exhaust that energy spear to do 5 damage to this enemy here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Takes me down to 7. And then the multi-gun goes off for 2 more. 1, 2. Down to 5. Venom is going to attack for 2. +1 is 3. Plus this Venom's pistol here is 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then for our final trick, we'll do the Yarnborn to attack Venom for 2. Knocks him down to 0. I would have dealt myself more face down boost cards, but I did the math to figure out that I could defeat Venom using Venom, knock him all the way down to 0 on that turn. So we flip Venom, we flip his dial, we did more than 8 damage, so we removed Tooth and Nail from the board. So Venom defeats Venom, and we kept everything quiet back here in the back alley all along the way. So, hope you enjoyed Venom Week. Venom was victorious. Of course, if you saw anything that I did wrong, a rule that I botched, a card play that I missed, it doesn't hurt my feelings. Please put it in the comments down below. And if you enjoyed this week's activity, this Venom Week activity, we played 5 different games against Venom this week. If you enjoyed that series, let me know as well. And if there's another villain that you'd like to see me do a series with, where I take a whole week's worth of heroes against that villain, let me know who it is, and I'll try to make that happen. So thanks for watching, everyone. Hope you have a wonderful week. And as always, I hope to be able to bring you another video again very soon.